Okay, here we go. Try number 3. I am so sorry. Y'all are gonna just quit watching me. I can already tell because I'm just messing this up left and right. Okay, now we're even in the right orientation. So hopefully y'all will be able to get back in. Gosh, I am so sorry, y'all. Okay, all right. So when last we met, I was getting ready to emboss this front panel of my Fun Fold card. So let's try that again, shall we? See if Mr. Internet is going to stick around. You know, I expect this at a hotel in the middle of Dugway, but I do not expect this at my home. Let's see what I've got. Oh, you know, you can't emboss with the thin die adapter in. I'm just saying that right up front. Jeez, I'm getting all flusterpated. All right, here we go. It's going to be a little thick because you've got a little extra going through, but that's okay. Just hang on to it. You're not going to break anything, I promise. All right. And there we have the embossed card front. Okay, you're back. All right, third time is going to be the charm, Amy. You are correct. All right, here we go. I may have to have a little chat with Comcast tomorrow, though, because that's just not right. That's just not right, y'all. It just ain't right. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So you can see the progression. We're getting there, right? So next, let's go ahead and color my front panel. I'm going to use my sponge daubers for that. And even though all of this suite wants Old Olive, I decided to use Lemon Lime Twist because, you know, why not? So I've used Lemon Lime Twist and Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use my sponge daubers to lightly color these embossed portions, okay? I have not heard about that. Maybe they are taking my internet. What was their excuse last week? Okay, so I'm gonna just dabble in my Stampin' Delight and kind of get some of it off. And then I'm gonna start in the middle of my flowers and move to the outside. And it's a little hard to tell what all are flowers, but that's okay. It's a card, it's not science. All right, that looks like a flower. And those look like flowers. We'll do lighter, a little bit lighter. And that looks like a flower. And there's a flower down there. You're not going to get all head up about this. It's just kind of adding a little bit of texture and some color. And I'm going to call that a leaf. So put a little right there too. Okay. And then we'll use a little Lemon Lime Twist. They were just testing. Yeah, well, they did it. They did it. All right. Now my Lemon Lime Twist, I'm just going to kind of brush along on my leaves. May get some flowers that looked like leaves, and then I decided after I did it that they were flowers, not leaves, but that's okay. Nobody but me will know that I didn't do that on purpose. Well, and now you guys, because you're listening. All right, I think that looks about right there. I like it. Okay, so I'll put this away. I'm going to use it again for my envelope flap, but we'll do that when we get down the road just a little bit. All right, so now we're going to use part of the embellishment kit. Now, it only comes with one each of the 3 colors of cake, and so I have already used the Daffodil Delight one, so I'm going to use this white one, and I'm going to color it with my Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend, because I can. All right, and I'm going to use the light one, and I'm not particularly worrying about shading because I've never seen fondant shaded. It's just a color. So we're just going to color in the inside of this with my light Stampin' Blend. You guys have these Stampin' Blends? Are you loving them? I'm kind of loving them. I'm hoping we get more colors. Stampin' Up! If you're listening, I would like Lemon Lime Twist, and I would like it right now. Right now. Get it to me right now. All right. So I don't know what the airport mess is. I have to confess, I've been busy cooking all day and not looking at the news. I'm guessing there was some kind of giant power outage. What do we know what caused it? I don't know. It surely isn't the weather because it's raining. That's all it's doing is raining. Okay, so I've colored that in and it looks remarkably like the one that came in the card pack. So we'll call that good. Now, here's the thing. This little card is too big for that little cutout. But it isn't when you have your fussy cutters. So I'm just going to fussy cut along the edge of this embossed cake, and it's really quite an easy fussy cut. Remember, the trick is you push your cutting paper up against the middle of your scissors back here, not up in the front. And when it's time to turn a corner, you turn the paper, not your scissors. You'll also notice if I turn this upside down, I'm resting my middle finger against the bottom of those scissors to help stabilize them a little bit. All right. We're just gonna go right along the edge here, and then miraculously it's going to be exactly the right size for that cutout. Now, in case you haven't figured it out, this is not a fast video tonight because there's a lot of pieces, but the fact that it's going to take me a minute to do it does not mean it's hard. As you can see, to be quite honest with you guys, the hard part of this card, of this fun fold, is done and behind us. Now all we're doing is decorating the cake, as it were. See what I did there? We're decorating the cake. We've made the cake, and now it's time to embellish it. The fun part. I'm just going to get all those extra bits off of there because it will drive me crazy if I do not. Okay, and we'll just get that out the way. Now you can see that's going to fit quite nicely on that die cut. So I'm going to use a little liquid glue and I'm going to stick it right on there. They have said that they don't know when they will reopen. What? Evacuating? What in the world? Well, I guess if you were out there at like Terminal E and there was no power, that might freak you out a little bit. It would certainly freak me out. So I'm just going to use, man, that's horrible. What a horrible time of year for that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll have to look and see if the news is saying anything about that tonight. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of liquid glue around the edges of my cut out card. And then I'm going to stick it on the fun fold area. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, there you go. There it is. Right like that. Okay. Done. See? Easy peasy. Nice and squeezy. Huh. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do a little decorating, a little more decorating, shall we? So I'm going to pull out some of these vellum, these silver embossed vellum pieces. I love them, love them, love them. And when you combine these vellum cutouts with the Stampin' Blends, you get some miracles. Okay, so I'm going to color some berries and some flowers and some of these little doohas. I'm going to use the dark, rich raspberry Stampin' Blend to color the little berries. And these alcohol things just work beautifully on vellum. Beautifully on vellum. Well, I'm glad your husband made it home. That's a good thing. And I think I'm going to use Marina Mist this time. I think I didn't use that. I think I used coral, Calypso Coral. Let's do that. We'll do Calypso Coral for these little flower guys. These are so nice. And the other thing I discovered is that the liquid glue doesn't show through these blends as badly as they could. I'm going to use Old Olive for the leaves. And then I'm going to use my dark pool. These were all the dark ones, by the way, in the blends. Dark, but I'm going to use the other one. Thank you, Barbara. Hey, Rosalie. No, that is not sounding good in Atlanta at all. I hope there's nothing terrible bad going wrong. I mean, you know, it's bad that the power is out, but okay. All right, and this is the pool party, the dark pool party. And so now all I'd have to do, because it's already done for me, is just punch these out. How cool are those, people? Answer, very cool. All right, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm going to put a little bit right there, like that. And use my tweezers and decorate my cake, just like that. You can see the stem is going in my little pool of liquid glue. I'll put that one there like that. I like how that's looking. And then I'll put this one down below. It'll go like that. And once those get kind of adhered in place and are happy with themselves, I'm going to go back and put a little bit of liquid glue underneath a few little areas to hold them down better. All right, so let's go ahead and make a sentiment banner. And I'm going to use this very nice little stamp right here that says, "May your day be as wonderful as you. Happy birthday." So I've used this stamp twice now and have not once stamped it all at the same time. I've always done it in 2 pieces, which I'm going to do again just as soon as I locate the acrylic block. My acrylic block? Okay, here you go. All right. Now, you could, in fact, if you wanted, you could cut this in half. And I would do that, but I'm not going to do it yet. And the truth of the matter is this sentiment, the way it's put onto this red rubber stamp, it's relatively easy to mask off one or the other of the portions of the sentiment that you don't want. So you don't really have to do that. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to be stamping with a clear rubber stamp, and I want to use Versamark, is I'm going to use a different color of ink, and I'm going to set up my... Thank you, Karen. I'm going to set up my Stamp-A-Majig because I'm going to need my Stamp-A-Majig. Now I'm using Smoky Slate. I don't know why. I could have used any color, but that's the one I've used, you know, because it's the hardest to see. And so I'm just going to set that up like so and wipe down my stamp. Make sure when you're wiping down your stamp that you don't dislodge it from the block, or you have to start over with your Stamp-A-Majig. Just saying. Not going to say how I know that. Get my Versamark out and my little tub of silver embossing powder. And my banner that disappeared on me. There it is. Okay. Now I'm just going to stamp this and emboss it in the middle of my banner, and then I will cut the banner down with my snips. So we're going to set it like that. Okay. Now, here's how you mask this off. I first ink it up with the Versamark, like so, get a good ink on it. And then I take a piece of Scotch tape. You could use washi tape, but I like Scotch, and go long. You want some extra on there. And then cover the bottom and stick your tape down on your acrylic block. Okay, so the bottom part of that stamp is covered, and all that's left is the top. And now I'm just going to stamp it on my banner. And in theory, I'm going to pick it up and have a not even crooked, we hope, sentiment. You can't see that, but I can. It worked out. Now I'm going to sprinkle it with some silver Stampin' and Emboss powder. Tap, tap, tap. Give it a little blow and heat it up with my heat tool. A lot of people want to do this when you're embossing. Don't. Just sit it, hold it still. Hold it still. Once it heats up, it'll start embossing. There. Gotta love heat embossing, right? It's like magic. There we go. Alright, let that cool for a second. Put my powder away. We'll need it again in a minute, but not quite yet. Alright. Now, this is going to go on the front. It's going to be about that big right there. Stay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the ends off and make a little snip and a snip. Now, the card cuts will be on the blog post tomorrow, you guys, but not a lot of description because it's a whole lot easier to do that on this video. So you're going to want to check back to the video, this one, the only one that we'll post. I will delete the other aborted efforts so that you can see how to do this if you want to make it yourself. All right, and there we have one each. Banner. We got us a banner. All right. 600, oh my goodness. A fire in the underground. Yeah, that's not good. As a pilot, anything that says fire related to airplanes I don't like, even if it's on the ground. Fire in an airplane, bad. The only thing worse than fire in an airplane might be snakes in a plane. That would be bad, really bad. What if you had a fire and snakes? Holy moly. That's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie right there. A fire and snakes. Whew, that's bad. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of center that over where my little flowers all came together. Try to make it sort of straight. There we go, like that. And then, as I said I was going to do, let me go ahead and put a little bit of glue. Hang on, I'm reading. Oh, it sounds like nobody has a clue what's going on at the Atlanta airport, is what it sounds like to me, and that's not a good thing. Next thing, somebody will be saying it was a terrorist attack. All right, so I'm just putting some little dabs of the glue under some of the colored areas. While it does kind of, it's not so see-through with the Stampin' Blends on there, I'm not getting too carried away because you never know. And I have, in fact, worked up a card by getting too carried away with liquid glue under vellum. So don't do that. Don't be like me, okay? All right, and then to finish off the front, I'm going to make a quick bow. This is new silver baker's twine. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. I'm just going to make a little bow. It's a little persnickety because of that metallic in there, but we can make it do its thing. We'll make it work, by God. It's kind of like the Facebook. Or I won't. I don't know. It may have a mind of its own tonight. We'll try again. Yeah. Oh, you know what it probably is? Fake news. That's probably what it is. Fake news. We got some fake news. Now, make a little bow. It doesn't need to be too huge. And then I'm going to use just a little dab of liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on there like that to dry and think about what it's done. And then I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to make the inner liner. And this is going to be a little bit of embossing and a little bit of coloring. So now I'm going to take my tape off. You'll see I haven't moved my stamp. So my Stamp-A-Majig is still set up correctly. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to stamp just happy birthday. So I'm going to move my Stamp-A-Majig to put happy birthday where I want it. get my silver foil back out. And ink up my pad with the Versamark ink. And then I'm going to cover the top part of the sentiment with another piece of Scotch tape. Yes, I buy my Scotch tape at Costco by the gross. Can never have too much Scotch tape, certainly not at this time of year. You guys, I'm a little embarrassed. I have to say this, and I know it's an aside. So I have all of these beautiful things. I have beautiful paper. I have beautiful ribbon. I have embellishments and things like that. And yet my Christmas presents look like a 12-year-old wrapped them. And I'm just thinking that's kind of an insult to 12-year-olds, because there's a lot of competent ones out there, and my packages don't look like one of them wrapped them. I don't understand it. All right, so there's Happy Birthday in the middle. That was totally an unrelated thing. Sorry. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. Oh. Okay. Oh, that went crazy. Sorry about my head. Had to blow away that Stamp and Emboss powder. I'm going to show you a little trick here in just a second, because you can see that I didn't get... Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can see I didn't get a real good Versamark right here. See it? Where it's a gap. I'm going to show you a trick. But I'm first going to emboss it. It's the inside the wrap that counts. Oh, I hope so, Tara. I do hope so. Christina, I'm glad that it's not just me that can't wrap it worth a fig. I mean, really. Hopefully nobody who gets my gifts will be expecting more because, well, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So I should be all crafty and creative. No. Okay. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix it with my smoky slate marker. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fine tip end and I'm just going to use little dots. Not very many little dots, just little dots, just like that. And bing, bada boom. You can't hardly tell that that wasn't embossed there. Now, if you have a microscope or a magnifying glass, yeah, you'll be able to tell. But the average poison isn't going to know. So there's that. Let's go ahead and put it on its mat right quick with some fast fuse. And then we're going to do a little more Stampin' Bling coloring on a little more vellum. Tell everyone my husband... Jacqueline, that's a good idea, except anybody who knows Wayne, no. They would know he wasn't doing that. All right, we'll get that put on. But it's a good idea, and I may use it. Maybe I'll just stick a note in the top of everybody's box. These are all wrapped by Wayne. Don't judge me. Okay. Now, we're going to do two different flower images, and they both are conveniently on this sheet. So let's set that aside, and we're going to color. You ready to color? Let's color. Okay, I'm going to use my dark blend for my Daffodil Delight, and we'll color these guys like this. Again, I'm not getting real head up about actually blending and making texture. I don't really care about that on this card. I just don't think it's needed. There's a lot going on, and I think it'll be fine like this. What I may do is in a second, when this first layer dries, I may come back and add some extra. Okay? And then that's the kind of nice thing about these blends is they're very, very forgiving and pretty versatile. So even though I'm using the dark one here, when it dries, if I put another layer over that, it's going to get a little bit darker. So let's use the light Calypso Coral on this one, just to give it an initial layer. Oops, that's green, so don't color that anymore. It'll be okay. It'll cover right up. And then we'll take, let's see, I think we'll do that top one that way too. I'm going to do this one in Calypso Coral as well. Just the petals. All right. Yeah, I love the Stampin' Blends. I love that you can get the whole set of them together. Are you guys excited about the Occasions catalog and celebration? I know I am. I think it's going to be awesome sauce. Could I ask how I got into Stampin' Up? So in 2014, I had a TDY business trip down to Florida. And while I was there, I decided to get back into stamping. I did some stamping way back, like years ago, when it was just scrapbooking. There really wasn't card making, it was scrapbooking. And I really enjoyed the process. I loved the stamps and the tools and the card stock and the ink and all of that. But it would make me insanely crazy because I'd spend like 3 hours making 2 scrapbook pages and I would have taken care of like 3 photos. And I'd look at my stack of photos and think, oh my goodness, I'm going to be 9,900 years old before I can ever get this finished. And so it was very frustrating. So I stopped doing it. So fast forward to 2014, and I discovered all of a sudden people were making cards. So I did a lot of looking on the internet, and me and Amazon Prime had a bit of a party, spent a lot of time at Michael's. And towards the latter part of the year, I discovered some videos on YouTube that talked about this company called Stampin' Up. And one day I went on their website, and I saw card bases and note cards and envelopes. Note cards and envelopes. But it didn't say how many you got. So I did a little more searching, and in the course of my searching, I discovered Amy. And I called Amy out of the blue. And she told me she did not know either. I am determined to color that leaf right there. She told me she didn't know how many note cards and envelopes were in that set, but she would call me back. And 5 minutes later she did. And she said, would you like a catalog? And I said, why, yes, I would. And she sent it. And I bought a few things. And within, a couple of months, wasn't it, Amy? I said, so Amy, talk to me about this as a business. And at the end of 2014 in November, I joined up. Which means I've just passed the 3-year mark. We're going to color that darn leaf that's been bugging me. And I've never looked back. I started blogging in early 2015. And I kind of love it. I am a little bit addicted to this particular product line. I love that everything is color coordinated because I'm not very good at that, at saying, well, this color should go with this color, should go with this color. Well, they've already done it for me, and so I like that a lot. And I like getting my discount. I first joined for a minute, for about a half a minute, I was going to be a hobby demo. And hobby demos are wonderful, and they're welcome, welcome, welcome in this company. And that's one of the things that's kind of unique about this company is if you want a business, have a business. If you just want the discount and to play with the fun stuff, then that's good too. And I like that. So I'm enjoying my discount and I'm enjoying the perks. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of the cruise. All right. I think that's the end of the leaves. We're going to call these berries. You guys bored with my coloring yet? Sorry. Not really. I'm having fun. All right. What's so cool about this is once I get it all done, I don't even have to work. It's just going to happen for me. Now I'm going to use my Dark Marina Mist on these because I like it. Like that. And I think I'm going to depart from tradition and use them on these little bell things right here too. Alrighty. And let's see, let's put a little bit of Daffodil Delight. Thank you, Rosalie. I'm not going to lie, I've worked at it. I don't want anybody thinking that it's a get wealthy quick, or my goal as a business person started out with I wanted my business to pay for my addiction, my hobby. And it's pretty much getting there. It's trying to get there. But now I've got all these additional things in that I'm kind of enjoying. So all I'm doing is taking the dark marker again. Remember, that's what I started with, but you can see it kind of lightens up as it dries. And I'm just kind of going back over those embossed shading lines. And that's just going to add a little bit of color and a little bit of shading. Thank you, Stampin' Up! Designers. All right, and that is all there is to that. I'm just going to use a little liquid glue and stick them on the inside of the card using my handy tweezers. My tweezers. I'm going to use my tweezers. I have tried doing on the back. When we had the old alcohol markers, what were those called? Oh, the blendabilities. Yes, I always colored on the back. But I kind of like how it looks on the front too. So it's all up to you, and and that's what's fun about it. Everybody's going to do their cards differently. So I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue behind the color. And you can see, you really can't see it. You can see it a little bit, but it's not hurting anything. And then I'm putting some behind the embossed portions of those yellow flowers. I'm just going to stick this up here like so. And give it a little push. You can see I turned it around. So it's a little different than my original. That's okay. That's okay. Look at this. It's a done one. Throw it away like I'm actually, a neat stamper, which I am so not. I'm probably the least neat stamper that you guys know. It's terrible. It's really kind of ridiculous. Actually, it's really kind of totally ridiculous. I need to fix that because it's making me crazy. And it means I spend more time trying to clean up than I get to create. And I don't like that because I like doing it. All right, and then we'll put this, I think I'm going to put it here. No, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it like that. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to take the silver that I cut out earlier. Remember, I cut this with the die in the cake framelits, sweet cake framelits. It's a silver foil. I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue on it. And adhere it. And I think we'll just turn it like this and go like that. All right, and that's kind of the inside. Thank you, Karen. Now we'll put a little bit of Festifuse on the back of that. It's hard to tell whether this is a card with the Cake Soiree bundle or with the Sweet Soiree embellishment kit. But what does it matter? They're all so fun. Stop that. Behave. Oh, I know what I haven't done yet. All right. I'm just going to adhere that in there like that. And let it set. Now, I don't like that. So we're going to take this stamp piece right here. What time is it? Do I have time to do this, you guys? Maybe not. Okay. You guys have time to do this, or do you want me to stop it and shut up? You tell me. I'm going to keep going while you tell me what you want me to do. Actually, I'll go ahead and finish it out because I really want to. Okay, so I'm taking the stamp image from the Cake Soiree stamp set. I'm going to set up my Stamp-A-Majig with some Smoky slate. Okay. All right, Jean, good. Good, good, good. You playing with paper pumpkin? Is that what you're doing, Jacqueline? I haven't done that yet. I opened it. It looks like a really nice set. It's going to be a fun one. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I've stamped this in smoky slate onto my Stamp-A-Majig so I can see it. And then we're going to heat emboss that in silver. Stay. I kind of did this a little backwards, you guys. It probably would have been easier to do this piece right here that I'm doing now before I put the cake on the front. But you know what? You can always get the cake before the horse. Oh, no, wait, that didn't work at all, did it? No, that's not right. Cake. I'm mixing my metaphors. All right. Everything is fixable. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see soon, won't we? We'll see so soon whether it's fixable. Okay, now I'm just going to turn that like so. I have to be careful because I've got stuff on the front. Like I said, if you make this card after you get this set in January, or now if you're a demonstrator, do this part before you adhere your cake on the front, okay? Just saying. Give it a little blow off and clean up your mess. Okay. Now we'll put that aside. Give it a pop with the embossing. Oh, Tracy, I am sorry you haven't gotten your paper pumpkin. I know they were back ordered on some. That's kind of a bummer. Probably they'll both show up at the same exact time. And you'll have a plethora of paper pumpkin things to play with, which will be kind of fun over the holidays. Okay, there's that. I'm gonna give it a half a second to cool down. Jean, you're still waiting too, huh? My paper pumpkin came yesterday. Yeah, my paper pumpkin came yesterday. Okay, so I'm gonna color this right quick because it's a little boring right there. That's not good. I'll get that off later. And we're going to color it with the light Daffodil Delight, just like I did on the front one. Now, I tend, when I have embossed something, to be a little careful about running over it with this alcohol marker, because it does sometimes want to pick up a little color from the embossing powder. So you don't have to be too worried about it. I just wouldn't, scribble over the top of it. But that's just me. And it's particularly visible with the lighter colored blends, obviously. And I'm just coloring the cake here. I'm going to color those flowers in just a second. It's a pretty feminine card. I don't think you could even sort of squint your eyes and decide that it was good for a guy. I mean, maybe some guys, but not all guys would be impressed by this card. Be a good one for a guy to give, though, yeah? Okay. Here we go. Almost done with that. what's fun is because you could color this any color you wanted, do whatever you wanted with it. So you can decorate to your heart's content, and you don't even need a Wilton pan to do it. All right, let me get that smoothed out a little bit. Okay. The November kit was not Thanksgiving stuff. It was Christmas stuff. If I remember correctly, it was the little stockings. All right, now I'm going to use my Old Olives marker and color in my leaves. Use a gentle touch, people. It doesn't need to go everywhere. You don't want it to go everywhere. I mean, unless you want it to go everywhere. And it will. It's kind of a runner. Even with the embossed, it'll get ahead of you if you're not careful. So just barely touch it. You can always add more. Hard to take it away. All right. And then I think we'll use some Calypso Coral on this flower. On this flower right here. Am I still in the screen? Let me check. Sort of. Here, we'll go this way. Okay. And then I think this one wants to be coral. Like that. I've got another couple of fun folds in my head that I want to do, so hopefully you'll stick around. Oh, you know what? I like this one to be coral too. I like how this coral pops on these. I gotta get my head in the way just a second, guys. Hang on. Put that there like that. Okay, there we go. And then I missed if this thing is going again, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Nope. It says it's still going, but you may have a little jet lag. I saw where's that leaf? Oh, there it is. There's a leaf that I missed. I missed that leaf right there. Okay. And then we're going to do a little rich raspberry on this one. And some rich raspberry over here. And then this one is going to be Daffodil Delight again. And so is this one. And I'm going to go back over it a little bit, like twice, so that it stands out a little from the background of the cake. And then we're going to be just about done. Okay. And that is the card, y'all. Okay, good, Paula. I'm glad it's still working. I don't want to have to go down to Comcast and gripe tonight, because that seems like just not something I want to do. Do you guys realize this is 1 week from Christmas Eve? Hello? Oh my goodness. Clean up that there. I got a little bit jiggy with my liquid glue. All right. Okay, now let's see. Let's trim that a little bit. That's way too long. Way too long. I mean, I like that baker's twine, but good Lord. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I'm going to pull out my envelope, and I'm going to emboss that again. I kind of enjoy embossing. Turn it this way so you can see it. I'm going to emboss it in the same exact petal pair embossing folder. Remember, I want to emboss where the fold it like that. Lay it down. Oop, I need a sandwich. I need a sandwich. My diet, you guys, I was so bad today. It's hard to bake. A good baker tests her product before she puts it in a gift box, right? It would be wrong of me not to check it. I was just going to say it would be wrong of me not to check it. And the good news is I checked it several times. They're fine. Not to worry. I figured 3 or 4 samples is a pretty good sample size, and I'm going to take it. Alright, so I'm just going to use my mostly dry daubers to give this a little color, like I did on the card. Lemon lime twist for what I am calling leaves. There's a leaf. Here's a leaf. There's a leaf. Everywhere a leaf, leaf. Quick, name that song. And then Mr. Daffodil Delight. Well, Karen, I'm glad I am allowed today to cheat because, oh my, I did. I took a plate of cookies. Okay, you guys tell me if I'm a bad person. I took a plate of cookies. I bought the cookies at the grocery store. I bought 4 different kinds of cookies at the grocery store. And I put them on a plate, arranged them on a plate, and covered them and put a bow on it. And I took it to the fire station, the local fire station. So I'm very much hoping that, you know, they didn't go, oh my God, I just saw these at Publix. This woman just tried to act like a good person by bringing us store-bought cookies. But I just didn't have it in me to make another batch of cookies. I just could not do it. So I did that. I hope they enjoy them. I really do. All right. Now, all I'm going to do on the front is I'm going to take one of these die cuts. Aren't these pretty? Already colored for me. And I'm going to get a little busy with the liquid blue and put it on the front. And then, you know, there it is. You haven't shopped yet, Karen? For gifts that don't have to be shipped? Yeah. Fortunately, my husband, our friends and I and us, yeah. We decided, starting last year, we weren't going to do gifts. What we would do is sometime after the holidays, we would all go out to dinner and just spend a little time having dinner. And so that takes a lot of the pressure off. It really does. Take a lot of the pressure off. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere this. Instant color. Instantly done. And there it is. And my husband and I don't really do gifts because we're bad about, you know, if we want something during the year, we get it. And so it seems odd to pretend and try to get stuff that we don't really even need or what. Thanks, Sharon. I hope they did, and Karen. They seemed like they enjoyed them, so that's good. All right, so folks, there it is. A fun fold card. It's a half-cut card, and I think it's kind of fun. I love that it goes in a regular size envelope. I love that it looks like it's all normal until you open it up, and then it gets really pretty really fast. Isn't that fun? All right. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your patience. Now, let me just tell you, I'm taking Christmas Eve off, so there will not be a video next Sunday. And so I will see you the Sunday after that. I hope you all have a most wonderful Christmas with your family and your friends. And do remember the reason for the season. And when you sit down at Christmas dinner on Monday, please say a little prayer for the men and women who are protecting this country every day so that we can sit around our dinner tables with our families and our friends when they cannot. So, see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.